guys, this is Kathy. Today is Wednesday, September 20th. Officially the last day of summer. The weather today has been kind of springish because it's been sunny, rainy, haily, cloudy, beautiful. Anyway, this is the We Be Knitting podcast that I need to really rename the We Be Crocheting Crafting podcast because I'm not getting as much knitting done as I need to be. Oh well. This is episode 12. My name's Kathy and I am taping tonight from our home in Forest Grove, Oregon, which is just west of Portland. And I got a few exciting things to share with you, including a Cal/Cal, like knit along, crochet along, that I'm doing with a friend of mine. So first, you can find me on social media as KMCINA, KMCNA, on Instagram. Ravelry, we have a We Be Knitting podcast Ravelry group that I really need to light the fire on. I haven't done that yet. Keep Sam gonna. And I'm actually personally trying to be more active in other podcast, like Ravelry groups. So, let's see. What have we been up to? We've had a couple of really super busy weeks. It's been a few weeks since I podcast. Biggest thing I wanted to share with you guys is 2 weekends ago, Rose City Comic Con was here in Portland, and my husband and my daughter and I went, and we had an absolute blast. I had never been to any type of Comic Con, and as soon as I found out that John and Joan Cusack were going to be there, I'm like, I'm there. And then we found out Stan Lee was going to be there, so we were definitely there. So I'm going to plug in a couple of photos, hopefully right here, not sure. But if you've never been to a Comic-Con, it's basically just, I can't even describe it to you. It's awesome. It's not San Diego. San Diego is like a whole nother beast. But they had amazing vendors, amazing artists, comic book artists, tattoo artists, so many people dressed up. And I was so overwhelmed with just everything happening. It was just amazing. But so we did get to meet, and I'll actually plug the real photos in, but basically we stood in line for quite a while to meet Ming Na, who's an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she was in the Joy Luck Club, and great ER, she's a great actress. We waited in line for like a half an hour to meet her and get an autograph, and while we were standing there, it wasn't her fault that she didn't start signatures right when she was supposed to. But while we were standing there was a cheering going on and and right next to her booth was Peter Mayhew, who is Chewbacca. So he came out and everybody went, so anyway, it was actually, he wasn't dressed as Chewbacca. He just, so he was in the booth next to us. And then on the right next to us were a whole bunch of voice actors, but, and I forget the actor's name, and maybe I'll look it up, but he played, I'm totally spacing it. Hook, the guy in Hook, the kid in Hook. Oh my goodness, I'll remember it and I'll plug it in. Anyway, he was there and we were standing in line, we were waiting and waiting. She finally came out and there was a lot of people in front of us. And we got up to the beginning of the line, and you have to pay money to see, not to meet them, but to get an autograph. This was just for autographs. You have to pay money, which my husband had done ahead of time. Well, when we got up there, she's got a person next to her that's dealing with, like, if there's any cash transactions or just to scan your invoice, like you've already paid. And I saw the sign, there's like a little sign propped up, and it said selfies. And I'm like, Victor, why don't we do that? And he's like, well, I don't want to. Well, anyway, bottom line is, because we were going to have to come back to a different place to get a selfie or a picture with her. Anyway, we ended up getting a couple of photos, plus we ended up getting a second she's the voice of Mulan. That was another thing she did. Anyway, she was so kind. Well, right before we got her signatures and met her, one of the people for Comic-Con said, you guys are it. And I said, what do you mean we're it? She's like, you're the last of the line. I'm like, what about all the people patiently standing behind us? And she said, yeah, she's going to be late to a panel. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be here when you tell those people they got to come back at 3 o'clock. Anyway, got through that. That was cool. I went and saw a panel, which was, you didn't have to pay extra for that. John and Joan Cusack. It was hilarious. I've had a crush on John Cusack since 1989. Anyway, they spoke and answered questions for an hour, and then met my husband and daughter again, and then we stood in line for a while to actually get a photo with Stanley. That's Stanley. So anyway, we got a photo with him, and it was well done. They literally you stand in line, and they've got queued. We knew what time we were supposed to be there by 1. I don't even remember what time we were supposed to be there. Anyway, we were there when we were supposed to be, and there was literally hundreds of people in line, and then they kind of take you back in groups, and they scan your payment, and then they have you put your stuff on a table. You go around the corner, and they've got a blue tape line where you stand, you wait next, and then you go up, and then you get your photo, and it was really cute. I actually, after the photo, how he's just kind of sitting there, I actually put my arms around him, or over him, and I said, thank you for everything, kind of gave him a little shoulder squeeze, and my husband said thank you, and he said, oh, you're welcome. He's really nice. So we saw him, and then we went back later, and we got to meet and see John Cusack, which was really awesome. So he's 50 now, and he's the hat isn't doing anything for him, but he sounded just like himself. He was super great. His sister was super great. Joan, she's hilarious. So if you ever get a chance to go to Comic-Con, no matter what version it is, it's great. We will go next year more prepared. I will mentally know what I'm getting into. We will probably dress up and take it in. All the vendors, there's hundreds of vendors, and the floor by the time we got back there at whatever time, I think it was close to 2:45, it was just so jam-packed. I'm like, I don't need to buy anything, and we kind of went through a few things, and then we got out of there. So anyway, that was kind of some fun stuff. Few things I'm going to do acquisitions first. So 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I got a text from a friend of mine at work who knows I love to crochet, and I've made him my Groots and some other things. And it was a picture of some kits at Costco, and I'm like, which Costco are you at? And he told me, I said, they've got to have it because our Hillsboro Costco is like, I think it's the largest, if not, it's second, but if not the largest Costco in the world. It's huge. And I went immediately after work, and I'm like scanning the aisles, and it's not by the book section. Well, I found it. So these kits, I love these kits. I've got them in Star Wars, princesses, you name it, and now I have them in 2 more. So they've released the Marvel Comics with the Avengers. Check it out. All the Avengers. See that? Sorry about the glare. Anyway, and the cool thing is, they didn't get released on Amazon until, I think, the 13th, but I got this before the 13th of September, and it was only $11.99, which was awesome. And what I love about these kits is they come with, this one comes with yarn to make Captain America and Spider-Man, but it comes with the kit, comes with like crochet hook and stuff, and I attempted to make Spidey before we met Stan Lee, but it wasn't happening. But the kit, it's a really good, it has instructions on how to make each one. It gives you detailed, how-tos, and it's a great little, awesome little book. Great gift if you have any crocheters in your life that you need to get something for, and it's $11.99, so it's like really good price. And the other one I got, which I didn't even know they had, I wasn't paying attention when my friend Rick sent me the thing. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Check it. And then look at all the people, even the elephant. I mean, how cool is that? So I don't know how many I'll be getting made, but I was very excited. I love making these. Only not issue, but time consuming. Oh, look, they're there too. I didn't even notice that. Whenever you've got body parts you have to sew on, it's not a lot of time to make each part, but then you've got to sew them on, and that to me is the most tedious part of it. So anyway, these were 2 acquisitions I got actually a couple weeks ago that I wanted to show you guys. Something totally not crochet or knit related, but I just think it's cool since Halloween's coming up next month. We got, last year we had kits for making Yoda and Darth Vader, and this year, of course, since Star Wars came out last December, at least Target has these really cool Halloween BB-8s, so you can actually make a pumpkin BB-8. And what it has, sorry guys, I should have opened this before I delved in. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is it's crafty, but Halloween's upon us season, and we're probably going to go hunting for pumpkin, hunting. We're going to go get our pumpkin probably in 2 weeks. But it's got all these, sorry for the crinkling, and of course they're all not, alright, this is bad, I should have done this way. Sorry. You can see the little things, so you just can stick little holes and literally stick this on top of the pumpkin. So it's got all the body parts to make BB-8. So you just paint it, and we ended up just getting like a pumpkin, like, you know, decent size, big enough to put this on. So this was something cool, and Target's the only place I've seen them, but I'm sure they sell them other places. Anyway, I had to share that with you. And then another acquisition I got just today, because I was on the hunt for, camera shake. I was on the hunt for some specific cotton for what I'm going to be talking about in a few minutes. I found this cute little, it went up in Beaverton, our local yarn shop, for yarn's sake. I just happened to notice this, and it was really cool. It's called Treat Yourself Pint Cozy, meaning treat yourself, but ice cream. And it's a little, what it is, it's yarn, and the yarn is by Knitted Wit, and it's just really cute. But what it does, it's got a pattern in it and it's just knitted, and I'll hopefully get one made to make, without showing you how, well, the instructions are down there, so I'm not showing you anything that matters. But you can make a little ice cream pint holder, and we've got an awesome local place called Salt and Straw that makes the most fabulous ice cream in Portland, and it's a pint, and this is basically just a knitted thing to keep your hands warm while you're eating your ice cream. So I thought that was cool, and it was really, I don't know, I had to get it. I like the pink. The pink was really cool, so did that today. And then I've been working on a lot of, last time I talked to you guys about the Pokemon balls, and I got a big order for 50. So I went to, I actually ended up going to Walmart because it was less expensive there. But I bought a red and a white. I have quite a bit of white, but I wanted to make sure I had enough red cotton yarn. And it's the Peaches and Cream, which is just really good, strong, sturdy yarn. And this big spool, it's huge, has 706 yards on it. Well, to make these puppies, you start with the red and work your way down. Well, as I discovered, because I was wanting to see how many you can make of the red, you can make exactly 50 red ones with one spool of this. So I've got 50 of these little boogers, and this is all the yarn I had left, which I thought was pretty cool that I actually had enough yarn for my actually I should do that. I'm still trying to figure out this whole video thumbnail thing, so I don't know. Anyway, so I've got 50 of these that I'm working on, and I've got 50 of these parts made, so hopefully by next time I'll have the rest of it made. So there is that. My temperature Afghan's way in the back. I'm not going to show you that. I'm up to September. I showed it last episode. I'm up to September, I think, 14th. So I'm about a week behind, but the weather's been the same, and I get tired of doing the same green, so I kind of skipped it. But I did want to show you this, and I had no idea. If I'd have realized it a couple weeks ago when I bought the skeins that I bought, I told you last episode about the Karen's cakes, and, well, this is what's left of number 4. I need more, and you can't get them right now because everybody bought them. And so my corner to corner Afghan that I decided to make is only about half done, and I'm going to run out of yarn, which I'm kind of bummed about, but supposedly they're going to bring them back in October. If they are, I'm stocking up for life. But I wanted to show you guys my corner to corner Afghan that I'm actually, stand up maybe. It's actually getting quite huge, and you'll notice there's some, it's a very, it's not a gradiated change, it's just boom, it changes color. So kind of in the middle it looks odd. But it's actually getting pretty decent size, I think. And it's really pretty. I like it. Keeps my legs warm. But I only have about half a skein left. And the way it works is you make a triangle. Well, I'm still making the triangle. thinking I was going to be able to get more. So I think once, obviously, I end with this, which will be the 4 skeins, I'm going to have to put it on hold until I can get more at Michael's, because they're the only ones that are actually making them. So had to show you guys a little update on that. And I wanted to see if, just real quick, if there was anything else. I told you about the comics. I've got some yarn coming. I'm super excited. I've got yarn coming from Amanda, who's the Yarn Enabler. And yes, Yarn Enabler. And she's up in Canada. And I snagged a skein of hers. And then I was really excited that I managed to pounce on Chelsea and Sue from Legacy Fiber Arts. I've been watching their podcast since Chelsea started it, and then it became the two of them. And then, anyway, they've branched out into yarn dyeing, and they are doing Buddy the Elf colorways. I missed they had some Hocus Pocus, some Halloween yarn, but I totally missed the boat on that. Besides, by the time I do anything, it'll be Thanksgiving. So, sorry about the ice maker. Anyway, I bought 2 skeins, and I actually snagged them. Boom. I think they sold out on their Etsy shop, I want to say in less than 5 minutes. I was just like, oh my gosh, I made sure I had my credit card was in there, the right one. I mean, the right one, the only one, but the right credit card was in there. Everything was good. And I boom, 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 hit submit. And I'm like, and then, bah, and I'm like, ah. So I'm excited to get there. So hopefully next podcast I'll have their yarn and I can show it to you. And then who knows what I'm going to make. So here's the deal. I've tried knitting socks. I'm having so many issues. I finally took it upon myself to sign myself up for the new shop that just opened in Forest Grove, Naughty Lamb. They have a toe-up sock class that's starting the 1st of October for 3 Saturdays. I'm signed up. I am determined to get a pair of socks, at least one pair done in 2016, and hopefully get it enough in my brain that I can go forward and make socks, because I'm frustrated and I don't like being frustrated. So anyway, so I'm excited about that, if you couldn't tell. And then, a couple things. On YouTube, and then I'm going to go on the last thing. On YouTube, I really would appreciate it, especially those of you specifically that are crocheters or knitters, and you watch this, if you can subscribe so that you get notifications. I'm really trying to up my game here, and I have already met a couple new, actually crocheters, and one of them, I want to say her, Megan, yeah, I just discovered her. It's a crocheting podcast. I just discovered it this morning. I was up pretty early, like 4 a.m. I'm always up at 4 a.m. But, and it's, what's the name of it? She's TOE Creations on Instagram, and she's got a crocheting podcast that I really enjoyed. I watched the first 3 episodes. Her name of the podcast totally escaping me, but I followed her. But if you guys, feedback, I really like feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave a comment. I know I talk too fast sometimes. I'm kind of a spaz, but I love doing stuff with yarn. And I don't know. So 2 other things, and then I'm going to talk about the knit along, crochet along, happening here this weekend in the Portland area. One I'm going to, the other one I'm not going to be able to go to. The one I'm not going to be able to go to is the Oregon Flock and Fiber Festival. It's out in Canby, and it's great for knitters, crocheters, fiber, lots of sheep, lots of wool. I'm just going to run out of time, because if I was going to go, I'd go on Saturday, but then there's a wine stomping thing at the local vineyard that I've been wanting to go to, that we're going to go pretend we're Lucy and smush some grapes, I think we're going to get to smush some grapes. I don't know. Anyway, I'm excited about that. And but the other thing I'm going to do Friday afternoon, my schedule's kind of wonky right now at work. Sorry, there's a really, really pretty cloud out there that I'm going to snap a picture of and plug it in here if I have time. It's just gorgeous, huge. It's like unbelievable cloud. And it's not a rain cloud. It's just a white, fluffy cloud. Anyway, the other thing I am going to go to Friday afternoon with my friend Rosemary is the, it's not Northwest Quilters. It's the big Northwest Quilt Expo, and it's at the Portland Expo Center. Tons of vendors, tons of really cool quilts. No crocheting, no knitting. My friend Carrie, I think her friends that own Mama Made It Quilt Shop in Longview are going to have a store there. my friend Betty, who works for Bernina, is going to be there. So Rosemary and I are going to go check that out. So I should hopefully have some new quilt, not personal quilt, but pictures of quilts that I take that I might plug into the next podcast. So the last thing, the most important thing on this whole podcast, my friend Carrie, who is so, I'm going to sound like Michelle on the Naughty Knitwits. So Now What podcast, great podcast. She's awesome. She's a quilter, fabulous knitter. She's totally wonderful project bags that she makes and sells on her Etsy shop, and she's totally diving in, I don't know, to dyeing yarn. Anyway, she contacted me. She had a knit along. I think it was in June, and I couldn't do it because May or June. We were getting on the boat to go to Alaska, and it just wasn't going to work. But she said, "Would you like to co-host a knit along with me in October?" And I'm like, "Okay." And then she told me, I'm like, "I'm in, totally in." So October, as most of you I'm sure know, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I don't know anybody that doesn't have somebody that's been cancers in general, but also most of us know somebody specifically that's been touched by breast cancer, and not just women, men also. This particular, what we're going to do is for women who've had either mastectomies or double mastectomies. And I'd never heard of this, but I just think this is the coolest thing ever. I haven't made one because you need to get a specific type of yarn. But we're going to do the knitted knocker, knitted knotter. Oh my gosh, I'm butchering this. Carrie's gonna laugh. The knitted knockers knit along, and I'm gonna add the crochet, well, Kal knit along, Cal crochet along, because I'm more of a crocheter than a knitter, crocheter at heart. Anyway, it's the knitted knockers, and it is what you think it is, and I'm not gonna say the B word. But it is basically, it's fabulous. And a cancer survivor, and I'm totally blanking on her name, but if you go to knittedknockers.org, they've got knitted and crocheted patterns for making knockers. And what it is for women, specifically women who've had their operation, and either you don't immediately get your implant. Some people choose not to have an implant, and that's cool. But what this is a implant made out of yarn. And they specifically, the kind of yarn they actually want is the Ultra Pima Fine cotton. I have lots of cotton, but I don't have that. And I know just the cotton I use it's not rough, but it's definitely not something you'd want right next to your skin. So anyway, hopefully by next time, I'll definitely have one made, and I'll probably put something on Instagram, and I will put something, once Carrie puts it out, for sure out on her Ravelry page, I'll put it out there. But we're going to have you guys hopefully do this. The local place for us to send them is up in Bremerton, and I'm going to include their website. Go check it out. They've got information about it, how it all got started. I'd never heard of it, and I think it's absolutely fantastic to help someone who's gone through something so scary, traumatic, personal. And I mean, yeah. And so we'll have a hashtag, and Carrie was gonna, it was hilarious. Go watch her podcast that she just had yesterday. I don't know I forget what episode it was, but she wanted to call it the Boobalong. And I'm like literally yelling at my iPad last night, "Don't Google it! Don't Google it! Oh my gosh, don't Google it!" Knowing what would happen if you typed Boobalong in Google, not what you want to see. So I think she's calling it the Knitted Knockers Knitted Knockers cow. So anyway, we'll have more information, but I think it's really cool. It's, yeah. So I think I've definitely rambled too much, you guys. Oh my God. Anyway, I wanted to say a couple things, and guess what? The sky is turning pink, so I'm definitely going to go out and take a picture. There's a lot of, just like last time, there's a lot of stuff happening in the world and I'm not even talking the upcoming election. I just don't understand. I don't understand what's wrong with people. Be kind to one another. Stand up for one another. Don't take stuff from people. Just be kind. I posted that on Instagram, my Facebook. I just don't get it. So I wish you all a peaceful and happy couple of weeks. Get outside if you can. Last day of summer, fall's coming. Fall's my favorite time of year. I love the smell. I love the cool, crisp mornings. I love knowing that we've got Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's just kind of all jammed in 3 months' time. Spend time with your friends and loved ones. Tell people every time you see them how much you love and appreciate them, because you just never know if you'll actually get to see them again, and just be happy. So I think I'm done. I've rambled. This is like the longest podcast ever, but I thank you guys for watching and sticking out with me, and take care, and I will see you guys soon.